Donald Trump was able to effectively goad Karoline Leavitt into attacking a highly educated female reporter who has spent decades on the job. But Trump, during an interview with the Daily Caller this week, was able to get Karoline Leavitt to say that this woman is stupid. Which, pretty bold statement coming from Karoline Leavitt. So here is how that conversation went down. Again, this was from a Daily Caller interview that aired this week. It was with host Reagan Reese, and Reagan said, "It's been a really successful 8 months, over the last 8 months, but the last 3 years that I've been there, we just have continued to grow and grow, which has been really fun to experience." First of all, let me just say about that question, Reese, what the F are you talking about? It's been a successful 8 months in what regard? You know as well as everybody else in this country knows that Donald Trump is underwater on every single issue. You also know that the One Big Beautiful Bill Act is, of course, the most unpopular piece of legislation in your lifetime. And you're going to sit there and lie to this man's face and be like, "You've had the best 8 months I've ever seen in my life. I haven't seen anything like it." What a sycophantic, just pissant. I don't even know what else to say. I'm going to have to get more creative with my insults because, God, screw these people that are living in their alternative reality. So anyway, Trump responds by saying, okay, remember, we're talking about a very successful 8 months here. And then Trump says, "People don't realize how big our market is. It's like if they had Norah O'Donnell, anybody could do this. You could take 50% of the women off the street. They'd do just as good. Pay her $12 million a year, and she's not going to be there very long. But if she's not already out, she's pretty close. I would say she's pretty close. But the other ones too, the Face the Nation, the woman on the Face the Nation is so bad." Can anybody out there, I don't care who you are, I don't care where you stand politically, can anybody out there explain to me what in the F that man tried to say right there? I read it word for word. Every single word I just said was every single word that came out of Donald Trump's mouth. Not a single bit of it made any sense whatsoever. None of it. Until he got to the end, like the Face the Nation lady. And then Reese jumps in and goes, "Kristen Welker, right?" And Trump goes, "Well, now Kristen Welker is NBC. And Reese says, "You know better than I do. Kristen Welker is NBC. She's, And eventually Leavitt jumps in because for some reason, of course, she was there. And Leavitt says, "Margaret Brennan." And then Reese goes, "Margaret Brennan, right." And Trump goes, "Margaret Brennan, what do you think of her?" Asking Leavitt. And Leavitt said, "She's stupid. You can put that on record." And then Trump says, "She's nasty." So the stupid part, right? Finally getting to the heart of this thing, folks. Leavitt says that Margaret Brennan is stupid. Yet her own boss, sitting right next to her, couldn't remember the woman's name, right? The guy who insists that he's aced all of his cognitive exams. "I've never felt better in my life." Now, the woman on that show that I watch every week, I don't know her name. I can't think of it. I don't know. I'm an idiot. So just think of the hypocrisy there. Donald Trump and the interviewer, like the interviewer is the one who suggested the wrong name to begin with, Kristen Welker. And everybody's like, "No, you're a dumbass." And Leavitt jumped in with the correct answer, Margaret Brennan, and then said, "She's stupid." So I decided to, just for funsies, look up the education and life of Margaret Brennan to compare it to the education and life experience of the 27-year-old Karoline Leavitt. Here is what I have found. Margaret Brennan grew up the daughter of 2 educators. Her father was a history professor. Karoline Leavitt's parents owned an ice cream shop. Okay, not off to a good start with the comparison. Nothing wrong with owning an ice cream shop. If I wasn't on, my diet right now, I would absolutely be keeping y'all in business. But I haven't had ice cream in over a month, so sorry, Karoline, can't help you there. I'm going to give that point to Brennan, who grew up in a house of educators, not the girl who grew up in the house of ice cream. As for education, Brennan attended the University of Virginia, graduating with highest distinction in 2002 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Foreign Affairs and Middle Eastern Studies and a minor in Arabic. She was named an Emmerich Reich Scholar for her thesis and also studied abroad at Yarmouth University in Irbid, Jordan on a Fulbright Hays grant. In 2015, she received an honorary doctorate of humane letters degree from Niagara University for her work in international affairs. So holy hell, we are talking about highly educated, very smart person. Karoline Leavitt went to St. Anselm College on a softball, to play softball, which she then quit at the end of her second year, and she got a degree in communications. Not bad. I mean, she was actually one of the first in her family to get a college degree. Good for her. Glad she went to school. Communications degree can be helpful, but let's be clear here. A communications degree is a little bit easier to get than, a Bachelor of Arts degree in Foreign Affairs and Middle Eastern Studies and a minor in Arabic. She wrote a thesis that got her a scholarship to go study abroad. She graduated with highest distinctions, and Karoline Leavitt is a failed softball player, a failed congressional candidate that still owes hundreds of thousands of dollars for her failed campaign that she's not paying back. You had the audacity, Karoline, to call that woman stupid, while the man next to you couldn't even remember who the hell he was talking about. That's what drives me crazy about this. With this administration, it's nothing but insults, nothing but, oh, this person's stupid, this person's dumb, I'm the smartest, while they're literally some of the dumbest people we have ever had in Washington, D.C. They're definitely the most dishonest, putting Richard Nixon even to shame. But this is what the Trump White House is. They sit there, call everybody else nasty or stupid, but there is nobody nastier or stupider than the combo of Trump and Karoline Leavitt. Did you know that you might be missing out on wonderful content from me? I mean, you're here already because clearly you like what you see. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share them with your friends and family, but also follow me across the rest of the social media world. And it's not that hard to do. Whether it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, on every one of those platforms, you can find me at the username @FarronBalanced. Simple enough, right? So get on it. And if you don't feel like going to each one of those outlets individually, lucky for you, we have links in the description of this video to take you right to my pages across all of social media. So don't miss a minute. And while you're at it, make sure you're also subscribed to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel, which I have been hosting for many, many years now. We've got more than 1 million subscribers over there, and there is fresh content over there every single day of the week. So again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel, and while you're at it, go subscribe to Ring of Fire at youtube.com/The Ring of Fire and @FarronBalanced across every social media platform. That, of course, is not considered just a far-right hellscape. Well, maybe Twitter is, but that's a story for a different day.